weirdest thing that ever happened to you that made you think that God was real? And I'm not talking about believing in some kind of universal energy.
I have had so many different encounters with God that I know that he's real. About 10 years ago, my daughter was 4 years old, but in a completely different financial situation. Paying for everything, mortgage, daycare, commuting back and forth, you name it, taking care of household, groceries, clothes, you name it. To this day, I know it was only through God's grace that I was able to make it. She's 4 years old. One of the things that I focused on heavily was being proactive. So the month before, which was September, I went ahead and let my daughter pick out her Halloween costume. We don't celebrate Halloween, the demonic, the evil, the guts and all that. We don't do that. But we do enjoy harvest festivals and times, just to enjoy the activities and dressing up. Because of my financial situation, I would always try to find free things to do. The community that I lived in, the shopping plaza, would always have harvest festival. It was free for the kids, so I was like, okay, I'll take her out there. They'll give us something to do this weekend. We get out there, we're painting pumpkins, planting stickers, playing cornhole, and so on. We've had enough fun, and it's time to get ready to go. And a little kid walks by, and he has a cupcake in his hand. I know she's going to want a cupcake. And to be honest, it was Saturday. I didn't get paid until that Monday. So everything was like at a gridlock until Monday. And so in my mind, I'm like, if she asks, I know that I can dig down in my purse and at least come up with $3 and change. If that cupcake is more than $3, she's just not going to be able to get it. She instantly asked, Mom, I want a cupcake. And so I was like, okay. So the lady that was running the station, I went up to her and I asked her, I said, how much does the cupcakes cost? And she said, oh, well, the cupcakes are not for sale. I said, well, how does she get, how are we able to get cupcake? And she said, well, she'll have to play the game. I said, well, how much does the game cost? And she said, oh, the game is free. So I'm like, okay. I tell my daughter to go ahead and get in the line. She gets in the line. And what they do is like almost like musical chairs. They'll play the music. And then when the music stops, you stand on a number. And then they'll, do like the little bingo ball thing, like the cage, and pull out a number. And then if they call your number, you'll win a cupcake. This is the first round. When the music stopped, it was like slow motion. It was like, she was like, 12, and so when I looked, my daughter was standing on number 12. I know that was nobody but God, because he knew the situation I was in. He knew at that moment the relief that I needed, because I was already at a point of, oh my gosh, I have so much to take care of. And that's just one extra thing. It's just a cupcake to everyone else, but it's an extra burden that I would have to try to solve in the event I had to pay for that cupcake. But through God's grace, my daughter left that night with a cupcake. That is proof in the pudding. And that, my friend, is how I know that God is real.